So this is our last lecture for the immune system, and we'll finish up with what we call cell-mediated immune responses. This is where we're going to be using our T cells. So the humoral response used B cells. This time we're going to use T cells, and they're more of our big guns in terms of fighting off bacteria and viruses, especially viruses. So cell-mediated means we're going to be actually attacking our own cells using these T cells because they've been infiltrated by, let's say, a virus. And remember, viruses replicate by injecting their DNA or RNA inside of our cells, and then they turn into viral factories. So what our body's going to do with our T cells is recognize those cells are not working properly, link up to them, and actually wind up killing them, very, very similar to natural killer cells. So your T cells are produced in your bone marrow. They then go to your thymus for immunocompetency, which means they are matured there, and then they venture off to the spleen or your lymph nodes. And when they come in contact with a new virus or bacteria, they then know to go and attack them. So here's our general look. Here's a T cell. T cell will come in contact with a cell that's virally infected. So the shape, the outside shape of the receptors on that cell are changed. And your T cells are going to go through transition to make different types of cells. You're going to have what are called killer T cells, or what we call cytotoxic T cells, which are the ones that actually kill the cell. You have helper T cells, which are really, really important in boosting immunity for both T and B cells. You're going to have memory T cells. So if that same virus comes inside of your body, we'll be able to kill it a lot faster rather than that delayed reaction. And then we have what are called suppressor T cells, which we're really not going to talk about, but that kind of calms down the T cell activity so our cells that are not really infected don't get killed accidentally. The two that we talk about the most are helper T cells and cytotoxic T cells. So these helper T cells, they are going to help activate both B and T cells. And the reason why this is in the news sometimes, or used to be when AIDS and HIV was more in the news than it is today, is that HIV has found a way, the virus has found a way to actually attack these helper T cells. So let's say you had HIV, someone had HIV, those helper T cells that are supposed to activate B and T cells when a virus or bacteria comes back inside the body again, if you deregulate those helper T cells, then your immune response is going to be quite terrible towards a serious bacterial or viral infection, and that's what makes them really, really sick, people that have HIV. So that HIV virus has mutated to a point where it goes after our T helper cells, really. Now, our cytotoxic T cells, they are the ones that work very, very similar to natural killer cells. They do almost the same thing, only they're larger and they go after our own cells that have this viral infection that our natural killer cells really can't take care of. So they're almost the same type of cells. And what they will do is they'll attack what are called antigen-presenting cells. So when a virus gets inside of the cell, hopefully the outside of the cell can change its shape so that our body can recognize that it has been infected, and it's presenting this antigen saying, cytotoxic T cells, please come and pretty much kill me because the virus is inside of us. So what it will do is it will link up to that foreign antigen that is now presenting on the outside of that cell. So here's our regular cell right here. The virus is inside of it. So your cell will actually take a piece of that virus that has the antigen on it, and it will present it outside of its body, outside of its cell membrane. So you can see there on the receptor, it has that little orange triangle right there. And the cytotoxic T cell will actually link up to that and cause the cell to kill itself or go through apoptosis. And it uses the same things as natural killer cells. Perforins cut it open, and those granzymes will actually cause the cell to die. So cytotoxic T cells are going to look for, or I should say natural killer cells look for that MHC class 1 that's not there usually. And what cytotoxic T cells are going to look for is for abnormal MHC markers, meaning they have the antigen pretty much sticking off of them, and that cytotoxic T cell will come and destroy it. Okay. So here's a little look. Here's your cytotoxic T cell that's here. And notice that your MHC class 1 is still there, and you're presenting the antigen on the outside. The natural killer cell, what it will do is it will search to see, okay, is the outside of the target cell presenting properly? And if it is or if it isn't, it will go and kill it. So they're very, very similar. The only difference is that your cytotoxic T cells present a piece of that virus on the outside, where the target cell, when it feels like it's infected, it will remove its MHC class 1, or it will be changed in a way that the natural killer cell can recognize that and kill it.